going on, everybody? Welcome to the RBS Cinema Podcast.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
This is Sparta! I'm thinking I'm back.
Why so serious?
Avengers!
Assemble. I'm Batman.
You better lawyer up, asshole. Because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
I'll be back.
You shall not pass!
RBS.
Lovely.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode of RBS Cinema. This week's episode, we are talking about Gran Turismo, the PlayStation movie game thing. So, if you guys are just now tuning into the podcast, welcome. I'm your host, Devin. With me, as always, is co-host Jack.
I am still Jack.
He's still here. He hasn't left me yet. And because last week we talked about Sonic, which if you guys haven't seen that, go check that out. I got into the mood to actually talk about video game movies.
Which I'm all for, because I love video games. So
Yes, because like we already talked about a few of them here on the podcast. Last year for my birthday, first few months into the podcast, actually, I talked about Street Fighter, which you guys haven't seen that. Go check that out. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Honestly, that's early on in the podcast, so I don't know. It's almost coming up a year. You
Crazy.
guys, it's coming up about a year, so it's nuts. And of course, we recently talked about Tomb Raider, which again, you go check that out. Can't really remember off the top of my head if we talked about any other video game movies, but regardless, because of Sonic, I was like, well, let's talk about video game movies because, like, you know, who doesn't love video games? Who doesn't love the story of certain video games that they play?
And who doesn't love seeing video game adaptations into movies crash and burn?
Yes, that too.
I certainly love that.
Yeah. And especially where some of them are kind of a mixed bag. Tomb Raider, it's all right.
Tomb Raider was a pretty faithful adaptation.
Yeah, it was pretty good for a remake of a game. So, and then you've got Assassin's Creed, which
Trash.
was not good.
Trash.
And then you've also got Borderlands. Not good.
Trash.
Oh, that was the other one that we talked about on the podcast.
Oh, you did talk about Borderlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the other
I
one.
wasn't
So
there
talk
for
about-
that.
Yeah,
I was not
go
there
watch
for
that one too, because like it was me and JK that talked about it. So because I don't know if you're aware of this, Jack, but on the podcast, because Sam you already know that Sam was
Yeah,
here
right.
and stuff, and so like whenever I would invite my friend JK to come onto the podcast and talk about a movie or something, Sam wouldn't be here. So it was a running joke for a long time, which it pretty much still is JK would be like, hey, like, where's your friend Sam? Air quotes, Sam. And he's just like, I go like, oh, like, he had something going on. And he goes like, sure he did. Like, are you sure that he's not imaginary? Like,
This is a good bit.
So
It's a good bit.
but yeah, and then like even there was one time he came over and we talked about a movie together without Sam, and he goes like, "Oh, hey Sam, how's it going?" Imagining that he's right beside him.
It's almost like when Kat didn't show up that one time, so we could talk about
Sleepy Hollow
Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, I almost forgot the
for
movie
her
because
birthday movie.
It was so boring. But
Yeah, because like we just rambled on about whatever, like movies in general, and like
so
I
you
just
didn't
decided
you didn't even have an episode that day.
no, not really. I like.
Are you talking about what we did?
Yeah, we recorded for an episode.
I thought you were still talking about when Sam came over and JK.
No.
You know what?
And it's because that like.
Yeah, that was
just
a
talked
weird
about
day.
Nothing. We talked about nothing pretty much.
The episode did not air. We both said
I recorded it and didn't even edit it, but like I'm just like I was in the middle of editing it and I was just like, I don't know if I should actually release this. Like,
and that's why we created the wrap, folks, because now we plan ahead of time when we want to talk about something that's not necessarily a movie.
Mm-hmm. And if you guys are not too familiar, with our post show, the wrap. It is basically just a post show. What we'll do is at the end of episodes every so often, we'll just like have an open up discussion about whatever, whether it be movie or a topic that we wanted to talk about or something like that. Nothing controversial, nothing political, nothing like that.
Nah.
So, just shooting the shit, whatever. So we do that every so often here on the channel. So, but yeah, always be on the lookout for that stuff, because that stuff is always a fun time.
So this month we're going to be talking about video game movies.
Yes, we got some movies in the pipeline for video game movies. So
I'm not excited for one of them. I'm going to tell you right off the bat now. I won't tell you which one it is. I'm not. You might be able to guess which one it is, but I'm not excited for at least one of the movies we're talking about.
Yeah.
And hint, it's not Assassin's Creed.
It's not.
We're not talking about Assassin's Creed on this podcast.
No.
Because that video will be 3 hours long.
Yeah, because I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan myself.
I am also
enough to brand myself with the tattoo.
Classic Assassin's Creed, though.
Yes, classic Assassin's Creed. Like the first, arguably 4 games, because the fourth one was actually really good.
Yes.
The third one was all right.
Yeah.
Of course, the second one is by far the best. The first one is on par with the second. A step below that.
What do you think of Rogue? You ever play Rogue?
Yeah, Rogue was actually pretty good.
I really liked Rogue.
It was a good pivot of what they did for the series. Instead of you being you started out as an assassin and then you changed into a Templar.
It's what if
because then you start realizing that wait, the assassins aren't actually that good.
They're not
So,
great people.
Yeah, it's they're not good people. They're doing it to benefit themselves, so that way nobody else can have this power.
Yeah,
essentially for the items of Eden and stuff.
I'd like to say is what if we took the good parts about Assassin's Creed 3, the setting, and we used the game mechanics of Assassin's Creed 4, and it was really, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, personally. I remember when that was coming out, because the Xbox One, and I think the PS4 was coming out around that time. And they needed a launch title, and so they had Unity, which was for the Xbox and PlayStation 4.
Not good.
It wasn't, especially upon release, because then there was bugs.
And
glitches,
and it's just it was paid super pay to win.
Yeah,
and a lot of microtransactions in that game.
Yeah, and then you had Rogue, which was released on the 360 and the PS3,
the older consoles.
Yeah, because they're well, we need to have a launch title for the Xbox and PlayStation 4, so let's go ahead and just have this newer generation of Assassin's Creed just be exclusively on those newer consoles, and then for the older console owners, we'll do this.
Let's give them instead. And somehow the game that came out on the older hardware was more polished.
Oh yeah,
and a better experience than the one that they just released on the brand spanking new.
Yeah,
always prove that never. If you ask me, never buy a console right out the gate and play games right out the gate, because they're just they're still figuring out how all this stuff works. Maybe down the road, and way down the road, if I ever think about buying a console, maybe I'll get a PS5. But at this point, even now, a couple years after it was first released, I'm still not considering getting one just because of how expensive it is. But anyway, enough about. But speaking of PlayStation, PlayStation actually published the movie that we're talking about today, which is Gran Turismo.
Yes, I do love the PlayStation logo popping up, because it's kind of like the Marvel logo where it comes in and it showcases all this bunch of stuff.
Very recognizable.
And so they basically did the same thing for PlayStation, but just with video game characters.
And
they're exclusively on the PlayStation. And I'm like, dude, that's how you get hyped. And it's all oh yeah, there's Uncharted, there's Astrobot now that's on there. There's Ratchet and Clank, there's Nathan Drake from Uncharted, and it's all dude, this is awesome. Or you got Bloodborne, or Kratos, some other stuff. Kratos. Yeah, and it's dude, all of these exclusive games. I think Spider-Man was on there too. But
Sony and PlayStation have been popping off in the last 10 years, right? They're basically branching out. It's okay, we're no longer a game company. we can just do Sony's just giving us free reign to do whatever we want. They're they're putting PlayStation games out on the PC.
Yeah.
Like Helldivers just did a collaboration with Halo ODST
because it is now released onto the Xbox.
So you see the trailer of Helldivers coming in, and it's the PlayStation logo and then the Xbox logo, and it's like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, like that's what I think is awesome, because like now Xbox has turned into no longer just a home console. Now it's also a PC console.
Yeah, so
too. like because you can get the Game Pass, and like because it's with Windows, because of course Xbox is owned by Microsoft.
Yeah.
Who is then like runs Windows XP, or not XP, just Windows in general. Sorry, I'm old.
The operating system Windows, yes.
And then so you can just download the Xbox app onto your PC, and that's also partnered with Steam as well.
Yes.
So like you have Steam, you have Xbox that are collaborated together. So now you could just buy Xbox exclusives onto Steam, and now going forward, PlayStation is going to be doing the same thing, but maybe not as
well.
Like,
they've already started doing it on Steam,
and like not even just on demand like Xbox does. So it's like, oh yeah, day one you can play this game on Steam and on Game Pass.
It's great.
Versus PlayStation, it's all like, oh yeah, like we have to basically redo the mechanics for the game of how it flows for PC players.
Yeah, because like there's certain games, like you ever play Infamous Second Son on the PS4, and how you have to turn the controller sideways and then
spray paint.
Yeah, and it's like those motion controls could never be properly implemented into like a PC port.
Yeah, because that's the reason why I love PlayStation as much as I do, is because of those kinds of mechanics.
Those kinds of ideas.
Xbox will probably never do that for like motion controls or anything like that.
No, because they're all about simplicity.
Yeah, and it's all like when I bought the Xbox One X, and I opened up the box and I got my controller out, it was just like the regular Xbox One controller. And it's only because that like, oh yeah, you don't even necessarily need an Xbox One Series X controller. You can just go out and just buy a regular Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
Because it works the same thing. The only difference being is that you just have the share button on there.
Yeah.
That's just in the middle of the controller. That's it. That's the only difference. But other than that, you don't really have anything else going for it. And that's why the Xbox is just simple.
Yes.
Versus PlayStation,
doing a bunch of
they have
weird
the game. They have the gamepad.
Like you use it as like a cursor,
and then you've also got like, especially for the PS5, you have the triggers,
haptic triggers.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, like that is my favorite thing about this controller. And you've also got motion
love
controls.
The PS5 controllers.
Yeah,
I love the DualShock 5.
Oh,
they're great.
I've
had one for I think at least probably over 2 years now at this point.
Yeah,
it's never given me any problems.
Oh yeah, same.
And I use it on PC because it all you have to do is just
link it up.
Like use a cord, and like I mean I'm sitting next to my computer all the time, so I don't really need a wireless controller.
Right,
but it works perfectly. It's such great technology.
Plus, I talked to Sam about it from time to time, and he goes like, "Yeah, as soon as I got that, like I just turned it off, like for the haptic triggers." And I was all like, "Why? That's the best part about the controller."
Yeah, it's so
like you can literally feel the tension.
Yeah.
And like once I saw that when they were like coming out with the PS5 and like they did it as a showcase and stuff, of going like, oh, here's like the design of the PlayStation 5. Here's like the controller, and here's all the new stuff that's going to be with the controller. And one of the things was the haptic triggers. And so like you could really feel the tension when you're pulling the trigger of like a gun or a bow,
or like when you're
whatever.
trying to like push a lever in like even in God of War, you can feel that sort of tension.
Yeah.
So
it's all like that. To me, is what's awesome and innovative for a controller to do that.
I feel like Sony is more about innovation and Microsoft is more about simplicity.
Yeah, because like you could argue that PlayStation could be living in like 2035 with their optics and their operations for their consoles and stuff.
Oh, you mean like they're just way ahead in the future of what they're doing,
like,
which I agree.
And like, you know, Xbox is just living in the now, but of course like is thinking about potential of like other aspects, not their like consoles, not their controllers, but more about the fact of being like more of a, instead of being an at-home console, you can just literally like play it on your computer.
Yeah,
And
they
that's
just
fine.
they just want to get the brand out there.
Yeah.
Like they've under after as soon as they realized they lost the console wars to Sony.
Yeah.
Right, and Nintendo. Like no, I think like as good as ones, nobody's gonna really touch Nintendo for like in terms of like their branding.
Yeah, pretty
Nintendo's
much.
branding is just unstoppable.
Yeah.
But like yeah, Xbox just wants to get it out there. Sony wants to innovate, and this is part of that. So the reason I'm bringing all this up is because then Sony came out with this film,
Yeah.
which is about Gran Turismo, which is a racing
Right.
game. Which, when it first came out, I didn't really pay any mind.
I didn't either. I was like, okay, like whatever.
I thought it was a little bit pretentious, honestly. Cause it's like, oh, great. Now we're just going to Sony's going to talk about like how like Gran Turismo, where we're going to put this big production into a game that really nobody is really talking about.
Yeah.
Like maybe if it was like a big budget game, like people like, oh man, Sony's really putting behind a manpower about this, but they really just sort of like pushing it onto Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
And then I watched it. Like this is my second time watching through it, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I think it had some meat on the bones, and
Yeah.
it's so weird to me seeing again the PlayStation logo and Sony backing this and like
Yeah.
putting as much production into a video game movie.
Oh, yeah.
And because most of the time it's just like made like inspired from people who made the game, like you really see video game companies stepping in to help with production of a movie.
Yeah.
Usually it's just like, okay, hey, we're Warner Brothers, we're like Metro and Golden Mayer, or we're like
Columbia Pictures.
Columbia, or Third Lines, or what's the one with the falling like logo in the beginning, like it's like 3 something cinema. I need to look this
Three
up.
Film Cinema.
Or like Third Line Cinema, I
Yeah.
think. So like
Also Leica.
yeah, but like you see all these people coming in, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll make a video game movie, but we're gonna like take our liberties with doing it instead
Yeah.
of like, no. Sony Publishing is going to take the driver's seat on this, and we're going to put as much inspiration into this from the game as possible.
Yeah.
Because we want it to be really, really faithful.
Well,
So-
especially with this being based off of a true story.
Yes.
Like, that's what's crazy to me about this movie.
Because I bet you didn't know about this beforehand.
When it originally came out, no. That it was based off a true story, no.
No, but
Because
like,
I'm not into cars, I'm not into racing or anything.
Yeah.
So, like, it pretty much, like, flew above my radar. I was just like, I don't really care about this.
The demographic of this film is also very strange because
It is.
it really appeals to a very specific type of
It's
viewer.
it feels like that it's a niche audience that would actually sit down and watch this.
Racing game fans,
Yeah.
for the most part, and but at several parts during the movie, they tried to like make it appeal to like, oh, this is a victory for all gamers.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
Because like most people who play video games, the racing genre of gaming is extremely niche.
Oh yeah. 100%.
It is even more niche than like fighting games are.
Yeah.
So like you don't really have that many people. Like I would even say like simulation and like RTS games are more popular than a racing game.
Yeah.
Because racing games are really more simulators than anything.
Yeah,
They
and
try
like
to
that. That's
put-
what they talked about in this movie too. Is that like this isn't just a video game; it's simulating to like pretty much like have like the best racers in the world.
Yeah, so they definitely try to put as much realism in there, and that sort of takes the fun out of most racing games, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, because you have, like, games like Need for Speed,
Yeah.
and then you have Forza Gran Turismo, which are trying to
Right.
be as realistic as possible.
Yeah, and like I don't know if you've ever played the game Split Second. It was for like the PS3 and Xbox 360. It was actually a really good racing game. You could actually take out your opponents to like get the lead.
Yeah.
So like at the bottom of your car, you could like drift. You could also like slipstream cars, and like you can earn your power ups. So you
Yeah.
get like 3 bars at the bottom, and so like whenever there's something that comes up, so like for instance, like the biggest thing that I can remember off the top of my head is like the airport race.
Yeah.
So like you could literally have like there's these like just demolished cars off to the sides, and so like for instance, like you're driving along, and then like you'll see the cars, and like you'll get a icon that comes up for like your X or like your square button. And so you can hit that, it'll trigger the explosion to come through, and it'll take out the drivers that are in front of you, and then you can take the lead.
Just a pile of cars. That's pretty cool.
And then also like in that part specifically, if you get all three lined up, you could also like have an airplane crash into the airstrip. It'll take out a bunch of your opponents, and you can also just like, of course, like take your advantage of that. And also there's like shortcuts. So like there's like this I don't know, like this door that'll come up, like a garage door or something. So like you can just like cut in the way instead of having to like drift around it and stuff. So like that to me was actually like really fun. And it was by Disney. When they still had their gaming company, and it was Disney Interactive, if you remember.
I do remember like, Disney Interactive.
So like that was a part of their stuff.
Down.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, like I would love to have a split second too, but that'll never happen anymore because now their gaming company shut down. So I'm just like, fuck.
Because like that's the type of thing that really like are the most talked about racing games are the ones that are more arcadey.
Yeah.
A lot of chaos in them.
Oh yeah.
You think about like Mario Kart is the top racing game
of all time.
And then like below that is Need for Speed and like Burnout, like games like that were just like Twisted Metal as well, like for people who grew up in like the early PlayStation days, of like those ones were just like it's just chaos and people are slamming into each other and like you have a bunch of crazy power-ups and stuff like that. Those are the ones that like attract the most amount of people who like racing games.
Oh yeah.
But then you get to a game like this and then it allows for a story like this to happen or like a possibility like this to happen, which is the course of the events of this movie, which are based on a true story.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into the movie, shall we? Since we keep
20 minutes,
jumping around it.
20 minutes into the pod.
Yeah. Which it's fine. Just mindless banter.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about a lot of video games in this one, so...
Yeah. So, talking a little bit about the thing about the movie specifically, who directed it, wrote it, starred in it, and what the movie is based about. And then we'll talk about taglines, talk about more specifically about the movie, and then we'll get on to our review. So, this movie is based on the unbelievable, inspiring true story of a team of underdogs, a struggling working-class gamer, a failed former race car driver, and an idealistic motorsport exec who risk it all to take on the most elite sport in the world. Directed by Neil Blomkamp, which he does sound familiar. I don't remember other movies that he has done, but I know that he's like super, super good. That makes more sense now. So he directed District 9, Elysium, and Chappie.
Oh, I love Chappie.
Yeah, I loved all three of those movies because they're just like super weird and outlandish, and it's kind of like almost kind of like a post-apocalyptic, like futuristic feel to it. So, for at least a couple of them,
him to do this one, was a very grounded,
not his
like,
style of movie,
based on a true story type of movie. It's interesting.
Yep. And then you got writers Jason Hall, Zach Balin, and Alex C. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's TSE. So I don't know.
Maybe
C something. And then just got a few people that wanted to highlight for the movie. Got David Harbour.
Love David Harbour.
Yes, David Harbour's great. Orlando Bloom. Got Archie Manicky. Got Takahiro Hira. Darren Barnett. Gary Horner. And then this also surprised me. Who played as his dad was Jimon Honsu or Hunsu.
He's in a lot of stuff.
He's in a lot of movies.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
He was in How to Train Your Dragon 2 as Drago, actually.
Yeah.
So very iconic voice.
Yeah.
Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Who? So
Man, Star-Lord.
He plays the dad in this film. So
Yeah.
that was very surprising for me to see as well.
Yeah. And I've only got 2 taglines for you, Jack. So versus like the 20 that we've had over the last like 3 movies.
Considering this movie came out in 2023, that's not surprising.
No. But, I mean, can you really get any more taglines from a racing game? From gamer to racer.
I mean, yeah.
And then based on a true story.
Yep.
That's
I
it.
mean, that's literally, it says it in the movie. So
Yeah. It's literally all that it is.
Really
So
that. I guess you'd call it a tagline, but I don't think.
I guess.
This wasn't in theaters, though,
Yeah,
was
it was.
it?
Mhm.
It was? Okay.
Mhm.
I always
Yeah.
thought it was like direct to the streaming services.
No, I do remember this coming out in theaters. I never went to go see it because, like, around this time, theaters were opening back up. Theaters,
Yeah.
because of COVID and stuff. So, like, everything was pretty much going back to normal for the most part at this
Right.
point. So, like, more movies were coming back into theaters and stuff like that. So, so now we'll actually talk more in depth about the movie here. So,
Yep. And I don't think I was telling this to Devin maybe in the earlier podcast, but like this movie has such linear progression that we're really not going to like break it down piece by piece.
no,
you
just
don't
like
really need
certain,
to hear that.
just like certain things that like we really liked about the movie.
Yeah.
And stuff, because like speaking of like the PlayStation sounds that they kept popping up,
Yes.
because I was watching this on my PlayStation, so I kept thinking something was going on with it.
I
and I was just
bet
like,
that was pretty jarring for you.
it was. I was all like, wait, what? So I looked at my controller. I was like, there's nothing wrong. I was like, oh, duh, it's the movie.
It's the movie.
Because this movie is from PlayStation. So
they had a large.
I think that's hilarious to
which
me.
is also a big marketing for PlayStation as well. That's
Yeah,
probably why the
because, like,
executives
you've got,
wanted
like,
to go along with it.
all of their gear, all of the cars had the PlayStation logo on them, so like that was really cool to see. But I also loved David Harbour in this movie, just
Yes.
being a complete asshole to the kids that he's training. And where they're training, and he just is telling them that like, did you guys really think this was just going to be about you like racing cars? No, like you guys have to be in top shape. Like you guys are going to be doing more than just like oh yeah, like, and it was the thing where he was talking about how like when they're running on the on the racetrack, and he goes like, oh, this is more than just like you getting up to go to the kitchen to go get some more pizza pockets.
He gets more Hot Pockets, yeah.
And,
like
and then,
he shits on them so hard in this movie,
Yeah.
like Jack Salter.
Grabbed a bunch of cones back there. Extra points.
And I will decide who is eliminated. You're ruining my enjoyment of these chips.
Yeah, and then like one of the kids throws up, and he goes like, "Oh, there he goes," and he goes like on the megaphone, he goes like, "You puked on my lawn."
Oh, hello.
I didn't think it was going to be so physically demanding.
You puked on my lawn.
Like he is absolutely brutal for seemingly no reason other than just like, oh, I like these guys. I don't think they're ready, so but I'm going to like belittle them
I'm gonna
because
whip
they play
them into shape.
because they play video games, and it's just like
Yeah,
like very very much the stereotypical like I don't understand video games, so I'm going to make it sound like you
because
don't
he
know
was
what
a
you're
race
doing.
car driver, so like
Yes.
he knows about racing and he knows the mechanics of it and stuff like that. So
But he's
like,
so mean.
yeah, and it's all like, and especially when Orlando Bloom goes to him and he goes like, hey, like I need your help with this. Like I want to be able to like get this thing off the ground, but like nobody wants to touch this. That
Yeah,
I called.
because it's
and
ridiculous.
then he even goes like, I'm the last one on your list, aren't I? And he goes like,
yeah.
yeah, and he goes like, all right. And originally he doesn't want to do it. He just goes like, no, dude, like this is fucking dumb. Like I'm
dangerous.
not,
I'm not
I'm
gonna-
not doing that. Like no. And then he had dinner with his team that he was on.
Kappa, which
Yeah.
is a dumb name. They drive a
And-
bunch of ostentatious golden Lamborghinis, and like they
Basically, it's like rich kids that want to drive around in race cars and
Yeah, so
stuff.
they-
And like
it's-
he even tells him during that
the dinner.
the dinner, he goes like, oh, like around, was it like turn 4, you're slowing down when you should be speeding up. And he goes like, oh, like now you want to give me advice? Like, what is this? He goes like, you get paid to work on the cars, not to give driving advice. And then he's like, all right, you know what? That's it. I'm done.
He's
and
like,
he walks out, and then he calls up Orlando Bloom, and he just goes like, all right, you know what? I'm in.
He literally pulls the I'm gonna head out.
Yeah. He goes like, all right, I'm gonna head out. So, but yeah, and then like he goes on to like train them. And originally, like when he's talking to the kids that are there, he goes like, oh, you know, like this is your one and only chance to do something like this. Like there's only a top percentage of the world that is able to do what you guys are about to do. And then he goes on to like belittle them as well.
I think specifically he says is like, you're here to prove that you are able to do this. I'm here to prove that you can't.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like a pep talk, but then he ends up like bringing it crashing down immediately. And
I don't think he ever went into it thinking that he was a pet talk. He set out to like humiliate these kids, basically.
Yeah, because they're all gamers, so
Yeah.
they've never like. Sure, they might have driven, but they've never really driven a race car before. Because he talks about like you guys are going to be going faster than an astronaut's like going.
But you're going to
to
experience
space.
more G-force, twice the amount of G-forces than an astronaut experience of a liftoff. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, because like you're going from 0 to 60 in like basically like 0.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Versus an astronaut will experience the G-force in maybe 0.5, 0.6 seconds. I feel like.
Yeah. So.
If that, so like that to me is like crazy. But yeah, I do like David Harbour, and then like especially when our main guy
Yan.
Yeah, he ends up winning the whole thing.
Yes.
And he starts basically cozying up to him a little bit. Like he starts like, okay, this kid could actually do it. Like
it's very like it's
setting up background for the character. So ever since he was a kid, he's always been in love with cars, in the aspect of like driving them, like race cars.
Yeah.
And he's played all of the Gran Turismo games that I actually jotted down. Was like from the second game.
He's
to
got
the
all the
sixth
box
game.
sets, like all the
game cases.
On
and so like it's from like 2, 3, 4, and it was like I think 2 different iterations of 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh man, that's really cool. And then he's like racing because he just got a new steering wheel for his PC or for his PlayStation.
Like he's got like a real setup, you know.
Yeah.
He's not just like playing on a PlayStation controller. He's got like an actual steering wheel that
right.
Like make it so that he has the most like the most realistic feel while he's in the car.
Yeah, and like which speaking of, like I really like the aspect of like certain times when they showcase that he's in the actual car that he's racing.
Yeah,
like when he's going through, he goes like, hold on, and so like he locks in when he's talking to his friend online of when he's like changing stuff on the car. And it shows like I think it was like the brake pads. And so it's like he's scrolling through, and you see it in like a 3D effect.
Yeah, they basically do like a hologram around him of like the car that he's driving
and like that stuff. And I'm like, dude, that's actually really freaking cool.
It is.
I like that aspect that like, oh, like when you are locked into a game like that, you don't just see it as like graphics. You see it as actual components.
Yeah.
Of, especially in this case, a car part, like brakes or a spoiler or anything like that. And it's like you can literally see that and envision it.
It's a good way to. I think they did that as a way to help like people visualize people who don't play video games about how it feels like when you are locked in and you're trying to figure everything out.
Yeah, because like this happens a couple of times where he does it in his room, and he also does it like when he's on the track, and like everything breaks apart from him.
Yes,
and then it goes back to him being like if he was actually in his room,
like you can see
stuff.
like all the pieces of the car just like slowly fade away, and then just him in the driver's seat.
Like especially where there's one day he's on the game and stuff, and his dad is walking by, and he goes like, why don't you follow the driving line? And he goes like, oh, like
because most people do.
Yeah, because most people do. And if I take out the outside, I can
usually beat them like this.
Yeah, like I could find gaps, and then I can use that to my advantage. And then especially like when he's in the actual race towards the end of the movie, it flashes back to that scene.
And you see the race lines on the real life track. And it just, again, it helps to visualize what he gets to see because of his experience with the thousands of hours of playing on the game.
Yeah. And like, but yeah, so but yeah, so like to set up the whole thing about the movie is the fact that like Orlando Bloom is trying to make this as a marketing thing. And he's trying to build a team together to like actually get this off the ground.
He partners
with
Nissan.
With Nissan and PlayStation that made Gran Turismo, and so
he does it
partners
with
these
Kazunori
guys.
Yamauchi,
who is the creator of Gran Turismo.
Because we get a whole thing at the beginning of the film where it's like explaining what Gran Turismo is and why it's a big thing in the first place, and it's basically
it's like the most realistic simulation of a racing game that you could possibly buy.
The guy who developed the game literally got into the cars and drove them around.
Yeah.
And they tracked all the data that he got from his laps and stuff like that, and they put that data into the game.
Yeah.
And they just expand upon it, basically.
Right.
So
throughout the years that it's been in the PlayStation world, essentially, or the gaming world and stuff. And so with that, he ends up like trying to make this as a thing, and eventually goes on to like make a competition.
Yes.
Of the top
sim racers.
Yeah, of being like the top racers in the world competing online to see who could like be the top and then be in the competition.
And like the whole reason he's doing this is because he's speaking from a marketing perspective, is that the people who play racing games and no life basically racing simulators are an untapped market of people who want to buy cars, specifically Nissan cars. And so he's pitching this to Japanese executives.
Yeah.
Like while he's in Tokyo, and they're like, like this, we were prepared not to grant your request, but we've actually gone ahead and done it. So
yeah.
But the only way we'll do it is if you have a certified chief engineer to make sure that it's safe.
Yeah.
And that's when he goes to Jack Salter to be able to figure all this stuff out.
Right. Yeah, because then and like we mentioned before, like he backed out and then he ended up going into it actually. And like to back it up a little bit here in the story, because like him and his brother go out.
Yeah.
And
so like we get
and stuff, taking their dad's car out and everything. And his older brother, I think it's his older brother.
No.
Or
Yan's the older brother. So like
the
dynamic
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like it's his younger brother.
Yeah.
So
the dynamic of Yan's family, basically to summarize, is that his younger brother Kobe is really into soccer and stuff like soccer, basically, and
because his dad was a champion.
Yeah, he was
for soccer.
Cardiff. Because they live in
for football.
But like the city of Cardiff, their football team. In Wales. So
right.
He's a famous footballer. Younger brother's trying to put in the father's shoes.
Yeah.
But Yan wants just to drive cars all day. And Yan's father doesn't understand how it all works. So,
and like I've had this aspect of growing up of my dad more specifically talking about like, well, why do you just sit around and play video games all day? It's like because I like to.
It's fun.
Like because like. And like, especially when I was first starting to do YouTube videos, or like I wanted to do YouTube videos, everybody that I told, like my dad, my uncle, like my mom, they were all like, "Why?" I was like, "Because like I enjoy watching content on YouTube, and I kind of want to also do that as well." I didn't think about it of being a content creator.
Yeah,
I was all like, I want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And they were like, but why? I was like, because it's something that I want to do. And like they thought it was outlandish to do that.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, what would you do? I was like, I don't know, play video games and put it up on YouTube. And like,
That was a very popular thing at the time.
And so it was just like that whole thing. They were like, well, it's going to go nowhere, so why even do it?
Yeah.
And like, I wasn't thinking about it of the aspect of being like, well, I want to make money off it. It's like, no, I enjoy playing video games. I would love to showcase me playing video games and talk on it, like, and put it up online to have people enjoy watching my content and doing all that stuff. Kind of like what we're doing here, right? Doing the movie podcast thing. And so like it kind of hits close to home for me of following my dreams of something that I really love and enjoy.
Yeah.
And it being a reality pretty much.
And I'll tell you this, like, that was the writer's intent.
Yeah, 100%.
That Jan Mardenborough, even though this is a true story, the character, his story is one of he's the surrogate audience in this film.
Yeah.
That he is the one who he plays the video games, he gets to go into this academy, and then
go to the academy
he gets
and
to
win.
like actually become a real racer.
Yeah.
And he lives in this world where people just don't understand why he does the things that he does. And
Right.
Basically, his whole existence revolves around, I only want to do this because it's what I love to do.
Yeah.
And so you see Jan's father is, people can relate to that experience of people who play video games, even
Right.
if it's not the same genre of the games that maybe they play. Anybody who plays video games at any point in their life has had people question why it is that they do it. Because, to be honest, like, our parents don't really understand video games very much. I mean, maybe our dads do, but then like the video games that they were playing when they were our age are like stuff in cabinets at the mall, you know?
Yeah.
So they don't really.
Like, even my dad, he really likes first-person shooters.
Yeah.
So like he likes playing Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff. And so like even when I was a teenager, like I was like 14. Excuse me. I had an Xbox, like the first one.
Yeah.
And so like I got a bunch of games for it. And so like he also got me a bunch of games. And so like we would sit down on the couch together at like my grandfather's house and playing Call of Duty and stuff. Or like he would watch me play video games because like that's what he enjoyed is the story and like the graphics and stuff. Because like even when he was here to visit like from a few years ago, I was playing Resident Evil 2 on my PlayStation. And so like he just like casually started watching me and started pointing stuff out. He goes like, oh, like, you know, you should go over here. And I'm like, why? He goes like, oh, like you haven't been over there yet. I'm like, because I don't have the key for it. He goes like, oh, okay.
Man.
So and then like you know, that whole thing. So like that I appreciated that like he would like point stuff out or you know be entertained by me playing a video game.
Yeah.
Like that's what I enjoyed. So but anyhow.
But like this is a very like this that like Jan's struggle kind of hits close to home.
Yeah.
For somebody who really does like video games that much.
Yeah, because even when like they leave and his brother gets drunk, so he's
sneak
driving.
out.
Yeah, they sneak out and then like they go to like this little party with their friends at like
it's like
a condemned building or something.
I
like
think
that.
it's like
I
the
don't know.
side of a river, basically.
Yeah.
It's like under an underpass. They basically light
Yeah.
a fire and they just hang out and they drink.
Yeah, and
know?
then like the cops show up, and then they have to like
This
run
scene
away.
was really interesting because like
Yeah.
the cops show up, but like
they get away from the cops and whatever, and so like Jan's driving, and because like his brother's drunk, his friend is drunk.
Jan has to drive.
Yeah, because he's the only sober one there.
Yeah.
And so which I thought this was really dumb because like there was these guys that were driving next to them, and so they were like,
they're
hey, maybe they've got some beers for us.
Yeah,
and blah, blah.
and so the
And
guy
so like
leans out the window.
then the friend from the backseat goes like, hey guys, like, do you have any beer for us?
And
And
then
they
they
just
literally-
casually have bottles of beer in their
They're
car.
just like,
and I'm
yeah, bro,
what?
here you go.
And so then they bump into each other
And they break the mirror.
yeah, and there's a cop behind them, and so they all get pulled over. And Jan is thinking like, I can't miss my competition tomorrow.
Yeah, and then
so he like books it out of there.
but he says even before that is like, oh, you know, maybe I can get away with this. They're pulling them over, not us.
Yeah.
And then he hits the gas, and then
Well, he goes like, I'm not missing my competition.
yeah, not
tomorrow.
missing my competition, and
And then he like throttles it and like he books it out of there, and then the cop gets back to the car, and now
then we
it's
get
like them chasing.
Then we see a zoomed out camera where it looks like a perspective from a video game.
From the game. And so I was like, that I really liked was him driving around trying to get away from the cop, and he eventually does. Like he gets the upper hand and he like gets out of there, and then like especially where it says like
police evaded.
Yeah, police evaded, and it was like mission complete or something
mission
like
complete.
that. And so I was like, that's actually pretty cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
Like the next day, his dad has him working with him at the train yard.
The dad was standing outside when they were
and especially where he tells his brother, like, tell me I'm the better driver. And that's the reason why he didn't drive in the first place, is because that his brother didn't want him to drive. But yet Jan is the better driver.
Because they just evaded the police.
Yeah, and he goes like, tell me I'm the better driver. And he goes like, what? He goes like, tell me I'm the better driver and I will take the blame for this whole thing. And
which is
and then like the next day he's talking to his dad at the train yard because he's like helping him and stuff. And he goes like, hey, like he's basically seeing the train yard as a punishment. And he goes like, hey, how long do I have to basically help you out to like
pay back the damage for the
mirror and for the paint? And he goes like, this isn't about the mirror or the paint.
That's why you think you're here? No, man, you're here because this is where you end up when you play video games your entire life. And it's
it's not even that. It's like, this is what happens when you reach dead end. Like
when
you've got nowhere to go for your life.
When you don't have a plan for your life. But like that's basically what he meant. It's like like you don't have a plan because you're playing video games all the time. And that hit close to home.
It did for me too. Because my dad has told me that several times too.
Everybody who has played video games at one point in their life and who's really invested in playing video games and as their main hobby have 100% been told that like, oh, you're not going to get anywhere if you just keep playing video games sitting on your butt all day. And it's like,
100%. And then he like Jan gets tired.
He just dips.
Yeah, he just goes like, you know what? Like I'm out of here.
Because the reason that he has to leave is because
the competition was going to start too.
And which is crazy because like it was at this gaming arcade, which by the way, so cool.
Oh yeah.
If you've never been to a gaming like
an arcade like that, I've never been, but like I think that'd be really cool.
It's not an arcade. It's more like a what's it called?
It's not a hub.
Like a game bar, basically. Where I went to one when I was visiting my friends in New Jersey, and it's just like a place where you go in and it's just lined with computers and setups.
Oh yeah.
So you can just go there and pay to play video games for however many hours, and then you leave. It's great.
Oh yeah.
I kind of sad there's not really any of those around here.
It's kind of like a gaming cafe type of thing.
That's what it is. Gaming cafe. That's what it is. So because he. Basically, what happened was Jan was playing on one of the systems, and they basically said like, "Oh, whoever had the fastest lap time on this system gets to compete in this race." Right. So
and like he was the last one that was signed in for his account, and like now he's got the chance to be in this competition, and he makes it just in time for it to start,
which is crazy.
And like he takes off his shoes, and then especially like we mentioned before with the car coming in as a hologram of sorts, and like it's surrounding him like he's actually driving the
he's locking car. In right now,
and so like that I thought was really cool. Later on, one of the things that I also liked was when they're actually racing and stuff, like training and everything at the academy, where Orlando Bloom and David Harbour, they're talking.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, like, let's get in the helicopter. It'll be a good marketing thing. And he goes like, coaching from a helicopter? Are you
the dumbest
crazy?
thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then he's in there, like it just cuts to him like being in there.
Way I would evaluate race car drivers from a helicopter. It's the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my whole life. I'm not getting in that thing.
And then, like, he's actually coaching from it. He goes like, hey, like...
You're doing good on that turn, buddy.
Yeah, doing good on that turn and everything. I'm like, dude, that's really cool. Oh, yeah, like, Jan is in the final 5.
Yes.
For the race.
Because they're slowly weeding out the weak people who are not really going to make it.
And, like, the thing is that, like, he knew about the car versus David Harbour, who worked on the cars.
Oh, yeah.
Because he said that the brakes were slipping. Because, like, they're in the car together. and in one of like the training courses and stuff, or like the
And
final
they
like the
crashed.
finalists. Yeah, and they crashed because he goes like, okay, well, like take the inside and you have to like hit it, like you have to take control.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're never going to be able to like do this. And
Like-
he hit the brakes, but they slipped.
Yeah,
And so
and
like
then
that's
they
the reason why
crash.
they crashed. So David Harbour is pissed off at him
He's
about
like, you
this.
can't be scared when you're in the car.
Yeah, and then he tells
wasn't.
him, he goes like, I wasn't scared. I was locked in.
I hit
but
the brakes. It didn't work.
The brakes were slipping, and
Because-
he goes, and so like he didn't believe him. And then the next day they're at, it was either later that day or if not, it was the next day. I think it might have been later that day, where he's showing.
They
like,
showing the film,
footage.
basically.
Yeah, they're showing the footage of them like driving and stuff. And he's telling him like, you can't be afraid to take control. You have to basically be able to basically take your initiative essentially and stuff. And then Yan just like goes like, I braked, like I
know these
brake
cars.
slips.
I've been racing for 200 hours. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, you're gone anyway, even if those brakes aren't glazed.
Yeah.
So
And then that's what it was. It was glazed.
Yeah, the
And
brakes
then-
were glazed.
And then so David Harbour goes to the track and has one of the mechanics,
the engineers.
yeah,
like
one of the
take around
engineers
track.
like is running around the track, and he goes like, "Oh yeah,
No,
your
the
boy-
brakes were glazed.
Yeah,
so.
he goes like, "Your boy was right; they
I
were
can't-
glazed."
I can't
and he goes
believe
like,
that.
"Oh man!" And so like Jan is like running on the treadmill, and he comes up and he goes like, "You were right; like they were glazed."
You're in the final
So,
five.
Yeah,
One of the
you're
other
in the
guys.
final fives. Yeah,
one
you're in
of
the
other
final
guy-
five.
Yeah. So
So and then he
pops off.
Yeah,
And
he goes like, "Yeah."
I
like,
think it was that moment when Jack found out that the brakes were glazed.
yeah, that
he
he
was like-
actually knows what he's talking about.
Like, okay, I believe in this kid now.
He's not just a gamer. He actually realizes that the gaming versus the real life thing are basically almost the same.
Like, he
thing.
has the know-how. He just needs to
He
develop.
needs the
his
training.
nerve.
Yeah, he needs the training to do the real world aspect of driving the actual car.
Yeah, so-
Because like he knows everything about the car, he knows the mechanics, he knows how they work and everything like that. And that's what Gran Turismo will teach you if you actually have the knowledge and the zeitgeist to actually sit down and actually like get to know this stuff.
It's this whole sequence that I think that David Harbour is such a great casting choice for this grizzled old man.
Yeah.
Because he played the grizzled old man role pretty well when he was the sheriff in Stranger Things.
Yeah, Hopper.
Hopper, yeah.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting his name. He was such a great job as Hopper in Stranger Things that he comes to this one and it's not quite the same thing, but like he definitely plays the disgruntled old guy because like he pushes him so much.
Yeah.
And so when Jan fights back, it's like it's a good dynamic those two have. It makes it interesting to watch like what is he going to do this time.
Oh yeah.
And so when you start to see Jack soften a little bit throughout the course of this movie.
Especially when he finally actually wins, because like they're in the final five, so like whoever wins this actually gets onto the team to then go to the actual like racing circuit.
And for the most part, he's competing against an American and a guy from Spain.
Right.
And the American has been pushing him basically the whole time. I
Yeah,
think it's
like he
Matty
thinks that
Davis.
he's like hot shit and
Yeah,
everything and
and
whatever.
so-
And so like you have the competition aspect, and so like once they finally get to like the last lap and it's a photo finish for Jan
Yeah,
to
the
win.
finish line.
And so like once because like it was a close call to see who would win.
But Jan
And then
is a little bit-
actually won by like 0.1 second or 1/100th of a
like
second.
a tiny little bit of a car
Yeah.
length ahead of him.
And so like he won just by like basically a pube, and and so like they're looking back on the footage, and Orlando Bloom takes David Harbour to the side, and he goes like, "No, like we could do this other kid, like the American, because he's good for marketing. Like he knows what he's talking about. He's very with it, and blah blah blah, and whatever.
he knows
David
how to talk in
Harbour-
front of a camera more than likely.
Right. And David Harbour just goes like, but that's not right and that's not fair. Like it's all about who won, not who's good on the
Like
camera.
Yan won, pick him.
Yeah.
Like that's
And like
that doesn't
Orlando
make any
Bloom
sense to me.
doesn't want him to be there because he's not good on camera and stuff.
It's not that he doesn't want him to be there. It's just like I don't know, which do you think will have a better chance of Yan or Matty? And it's like,
Right.
Yan, because he won.
Right.
I don't care about all this other stuff. I care about winning.
Yeah.
It's like, Yan
He goes
won.
like, I don't care about the marketing aspect or anything like that.
Which,
it's all
again-
about like who would win in a race.
Which again, that also is kind of cool for me because I'm going through a very specific thing as a football fan,
Yeah.
So with my goat Jalen Hurts, quarterback for the Eagles, that like nobody likes him, but all he does is win. So everyone's like, oh, he's not the greatest quarterback in the world. Okay, but he wins games. So there you go. So I can sympathize with that a little bit. I thought that was a really cool moment.
Speaking of nobody liking you, once he because they're in the plane now.
They're going
after
to
the competition, and
Milan, I think.
I think so. I don't remember, but like with them all talking with each other on the plane, David Harbour tells Jan that like nobody likes you. Like
Nobody's gonna respect you.
Once you get on once you meet your team, nobody's gonna like you because you're just a gamer. So you don't have what it takes in their eyes.
Even your own like pit crew won't like you, and none of the drivers
like none of the drivers
anyway.
will respect you or like you. None of like nobody on your pit crew is going to like you, but they will like if you show them what you've got, they will eventually like you and respect you and stuff. And so I'm all like, cool, like that's actually like pretty realistic expectations of what you could imagine this going on.
He even says like later on the film is like, hey, nobody thinks we can do this, so low expectations. So.
Yeah, and we'll cut to like the accident that happens.
Yeah, because like
a lot of it is just like driving and like basically he's trying to place himself throughout the course of the movie of being
at least
better,
fourth place.
Because like he was like in his first race ever, he was almost in fourth place, and then he got into like an accident like. The guy in the gold Lamborghini bumps into his rear, and then he spins out, and like he's fine, but he ends up spinning out, so then he finishes like in 27th place or something like that. And then from that point on, he keeps going up the chain, and even David Harbour tells him like, you did really good out there, but like even for your first time, that was still really good. Like
I think
don't think about it as a loss, think about it as a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, he's just getting progressively better and like further up the circuit and stuff.
Like he's trying to get his license so he can be able to like
actually officially be a driver.
Yeah, so he can be signed by Nissan.
Yeah.
Because like they're not going to let him drive in like the big like one of the bigger
big
races
leagues.
without.
Yeah. Because like I think he goes from like 27th, 24th, 20th, and then he goes to like 15th. And then, like, he eventually gets all the way up
It's just a big, long montage of racing. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's like, if you, like, we'll explain some of the, like, not the non-racing stuff in this film, but, like, if you wanted to watch this film, go watch it for the racing, because it actually is kind of cool to, like, see it happen. So, but we're not going to go into, like, oh, he did this turn on this thing.
Right.
Like, that's just going to take way too long.
I do like that sometimes when they're doing races that, like, it stops in the middle of like the race and like it shows his placement, and like the PlayStation sound comes up. I'm like, dude, that's actually really cool.
Like it shows like what position he's in the race. So that's also a really cool detail.
Yeah, which we'll get to the car wreck that happens. So
which one? There's a couple of them.
Well, like the big one that happens,
okay.
Like when he has like the giant fallout that he wants to give up and quit and stuff.
Yeah.
So like when he's like getting into it and like he's finally realizing like, okay, like this is just like a video game, and he's going over the hill, and then like he catches wind, and the whole car just flips up.
Yep.
And it like crashes into the fence.
Huge
and
crash.
And then like hits a bystander.
And that's the first time that his parents are watching.
Yeah, it's the
race.
First time that his parents are watching. I think it was his girl that he was talking with or like had feelings for was there.
Yeah.
To like support him and stuff.
Like this is on the Nürburgring.
Yeah.
Which is known as the most difficult racing track in the world.
Yeah.
It's in the Rhineland of Germany.
Right.
Like so many car manufacturers test their they're like supercars on this track because of how difficult it is to drive on.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was on this track at all speaks to like how good he was at the time. But like, they literally described that part of where he crashed later in the film as it's German for airfield.
Yeah.
Because how aerodynamics work is that if you're going really fast and you get a little bit of updraft underneath your car,
it'll just take you.
It's like a piece of paper basically.
Yeah.
Because no matter how heavy the car is, if you have enough lift, it's gonna get off the ground.
Right. And so like he gets into this horrible accident and he walks away with like minor injuries, but like he ended up killing someone.
Yeah.
And it devastates him. And so like I was doing a little bit of research on that. And this actually did happen.
Yeah.
But the timeline, I guess, like, and like I saw that apparently the critics had a big problem with this.
Yeah.
And it's not even because of like that this happened. It's one, the timeline. Okay, so in the actual reality of the real world of this actually happening, the timeline between the accident and then when he goes back into racing was like a couple years. So because of like the accident and trying to get stuff figured out and whatever, the critics also had a problem with this part of the movie because they felt like that the accident was more not for the aspect of the real world aspect, but more about like playing the hero card,
the drama.
The drama and the hero card of him
which
like,
is
coming back and like winning the race and stuff,
which is a fair criticism for a movie that is based on a true story. I didn't really have a problem with it because like it's all within the context of the film.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's based on a true story. So like you have to take certain liberties when cutting it down to like this movie was a little over 2 hours. So like you can't just like in terms of pacing, you can't just have a 2-year span of just nothing happening.
Right. Or just cutting to 2 years later or
like,
something.
If
it's
you,
like,
if
what
you,
the hell?
If
like,
you
why
did
are we
it,
time
like,
skipping?
every event, like true to how it actually played out in real life, then it wouldn't make for a very interesting movie. No. They have to play it up sometimes. So, like, I really didn't really have a problem with it when I watched it both times that I did.
Right.
In terms of historical accuracy. Because I wasn't really... Most people who aren't interested in, like, making sure this is a faithful retelling of what happened. They just want to go see a movie.
Yeah.
Unless it's like historical fiction...
Yeah.
Then you need to be a little bit more accurate as to what happened, or not historical fiction. I mean historical nonfiction, like a 1917 or like a war film. You know, like you have to, or like a movie that was back in like the Civil War. You know, like a slavery type movie. You have to make sure that you're being historically accurate there.
Yeah.
But for something that happened back in 2011, you can take a little bit of creative liberty when doing that. So I really didn't have a problem with that. And I thought it was a good moment in the film, personally, to have this sort of character growth for Yan, and it leads into the pep talk that Jack has with Yan, where he takes him back to the site of the accident.
Right. Hold that thought. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
But yeah, I did really like that they did that in the actual reality of what happens. Instead of just going like, no, we're just going to push past this sort of thing, even though it's what really happened.
Yeah.
So, because like I was even talking to my wife about this movie and stuff, and the other night. And so, like, I was talking to her about it, and I go, like, yeah, like, there's a part in the movie where this accident happens and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, like, oh, like, it wasn't really, like, that big of a thing. Like, in her mind, because it's based off a true story, usually they over-exaggerate what stuff happens in the actual story. But, like, this is what actually happened.
Yeah.
And so she goes like, oh yeah, like, you know, they're just doing it for entertainment purposes. I'm like, you know, she goes like, nobody really died or really got hurt or anything like that, right? I said, no, I literally Googled this and this is what actually happened.
Yeah.
But like, they just had to basically say like, yeah, you know, like you killed somebody, and which actually happens. But like, some other people also got hurt and injured and stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, oh yeah, like somebody got killed and like that's it. It's like, no, like other people also got injured as well.
Well, yeah,
on top of
I mean,
that.
it's a car wreck.
Yeah, and so like, besides just him, and so she goes like, oh, like, I didn't realize that was going to be in that. I was like, well, yeah, it kind of has to showcase it, because then, like, it's supposed to be telling his story of what happened. So, but yeah, like, I really liked that they showcased that. But I also, like, the thought that popped into my head was, like, him going, like, and flying up, like,
pretty
much like straight up. I was all like, and then it cuts to him in the car going like, oh shit, I thought of the Talladega Nights movie where he goes like, up, I'm flying through the air right now. Like, thought that was pretty funny.
Yep, I'm flying through the air. This is not good.
But now we're finally in the final race for the 24 hours of Le Mans.
Yeah.
So, and like here's another thing that we also didn't touch on, was him listening to Kenny G to chill out.
Yeah.
For his races and stuff. And because, like, even when he's in the academy, he's listening to Kenny G to, like, wind down for the night. And, like, it's super loud, so a couple of his bunkmates hear it. They're like, what are you listening to? He goes like, Kenny G.
So you listen to Kenny G?
Yeah, and they're like, who's Kenny G? And I'm like, okay, obviously you guys are kids, so you guys don't know who Kenny G is.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, whatever, like, it's fine.
It's also Kenny G in like 2011 too.
Yeah, because like,
I think Yan is 22 in 2011.
In that time, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But
like, this is also important. We must remember this, that like Yan took Audrey, his girlfriend, to Tokyo, and
right.
while they were there, he bought a Sony MP3 player.
Yeah.
Because Jack has a Walkman.
Yeah.
And because he takes us to dinner one night, it's like, how do you only have
about, like, music and stuff?
How do you listen to this thing? It's only got 8 songs on here. And
Yeah.
It's like, man, I just like the classics, man.
Right. And so he bought him, and so like, and it was like that race that he gets into the accident with, that he gives him the present. He goes like, open it when I win.
Just before the race goes on. Yeah.
And he goes like, open it when I win.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. And then of course that accident happened and he never opened it and stuff. Well, he opens it while he's in the hospital, like recovering.
And
he's at like his hotel or something.
The note says like, now I get a chance to teach you something.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything. And
Right.
it's in the MP3 player.
Right. And but yeah, and then like what you said, like he drives him to the accident and he goes like, don't let this moment define you.
Yeah.
Which I actually really liked, now that I'm thinking about it, was like, don't let this define who you are. Don't let this be the last thing that everybody thinks of you.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to quit, fine. That's okay.
But if you want to get back in it, take your last lap.
Nobody will blame you. But he goes like, because that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I got into an accident with another driver. I walked away, nothing. My gloves were on fire. That was it. But the other driver, unfortunately, didn't make it.
Yeah.
Like, he died on the way to the hospital. So from that point on, I walked away. I ended my racing career right then and there, because I could not take that thought process anymore.
Yeah.
And so like, he goes like, but at least finish your last lap. And has him get back into the car to drive, to basically motivate him to either leave or to continue what he started.
Yeah.
And then ultimately he decides, you know what, I'm going to continue what I started. And like, even in the race of Le Mans, like, he starts having flashbacks of his crash
Like
and stuff.
his vision starts blurring and he starts slowing down.
Yeah,
because
he's like, and the first part of the race, like, he's going like at a really good pace.
Yeah,
like he's weaving in between people and like getting up there and like the race ranking and stuff like that. And then like he starts slowing down because then he starts having his PTSD moment.
Yeah, because like the stakes of this race, to quickly summarize, is that the investigation was completed in like in terms of like what happened with the car, so we're clear on that. But lots of other race teams are saying that it's not safe to drive with you. So basically, to shut them up, you have to podium at Le Mans.
Yeah,
you have to get at least third place at Le Mans,
right,
to be able to say that, like, for Nissan to want to keep this going, because they're going to shut us down.
Yeah.
And
because then even on social media they were petitioning to basically like have them stop racing.
Yeah, because Le Mans is the race that Jack crashed out at.
Yeah.
So he was
it's
like,
24 hours.
Are you sure you want to do this? And like, obviously you have to have 3 different racers. So they get the 2 guys from GT Academy who are in 2nd and 3rd place.
Right, being the American and like the German, I think, right?
And they're not driving the GTRs that they were driving before.
No, they're
driving these supercars, basically.
Yeah.
Like specifically engineered to drive for 24 hours. So they get to drive in 3-man shifts, like 3, 6, and 9 hours until they win, basically. They just take turns driving at the same track for 24 hours. That's what Le Mans is.
Yeah.
So Yan's up first, so he starts driving, and like you said, he has his PTSD attack, and then Jack puts over on the
Kenny
blasting
G.
Kenny G, and Yan gets pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, stop it! Shut up!
Yeah, and he goes like, what are you doing? He goes like,
are you mad?
I'm sorry. Like, I thought that you wanted to chill out. And he goes like, no, like, shut this off.
And I was like, oh no, I can't turn it. I don't know how to work this thing.
Yeah, and so he just shuts off his radio comms. And he goes like, are you mad? And he goes like, yes, I'm mad. I'm pissed off. And he goes like, good.
It's about damn time.
He goes like, good, get mad. Fucking like drive. And he goes like,
drive the car, man.
Oh fuck! And like he books it into fucking high gear.
Then he starts to lock in.
And then we keep going over like just more racing stuff. Him getting up in the rankings, and then like him switching out drivers and stuff. And like I thought it was gonna be like something else was gonna happen because it rained.
Yeah.
At night. And I'm all like, damn, like they're still racing at night.
Yes.
And it's raining on top of that. That's scary to me. And they're driving at high speeds. I'm like, that's scary.
This race is basically what the entirety of Ford versus Ferrari was about. If you haven't seen that movie, that's another.
No, I need to watch that though.
That's a great racing film.
I might watch that after this.
Yeah,
actually.
so
it's doing the whole like driving scene. Like
Ford versus Ferrari is an amazing movie.
I've seen clips of it. I'm like, damn, I really need to watch this.
I would definitely give it a watch. But
yeah,
this race is mentally and physically exhausting.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for like over 100 years. Like since since you could first drive cars. So they've been doing the 24 hours of Le Mans.
Yeah, and then because then like what we mentioned before of like the flashback of him with him being in his room and his dad going like, why don't you take the driving line and blah,
which is a good
because like all of the car parts start like basically going away from him,
and then we see him
goes back to him being in his room, and then the car parts come right back into surrounding him, and then he like kicks it up and stuff, and I'm like, dude, like this is it's such a cool way to do this aspect of a driving movie.
It is a great way to visualize it. I will definitely say,
and especially where it's like you could like question of going like, well, is this what actually happened? Like they have to play it up a little bit, but like they could ask the actual like driver of being like Jan of being like, what were you thinking in that moment? Like, oh, I was thinking back to
I'm sure they did
in my room.
You know how I know they did? Because Jan Mardenborough, the actual Jan Mardenborough we see in the credit sequence, performed as his own stunt double in this film.
Right. Like that to me was like insane, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like that's actually really fucking.
You can really tell that like he really had a big hand in like the development of this film as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. And so like ultimately, because like him and the rich kid with the gold Lamborghini,
like,
they have this rivalry and whatever, and so like he's getting up to passing him, and him and the other driver that was like
the German,
also, like the German guy was like they run into each other because like they're all three of them are by like next to each other.
They're
He's
lined
in the
up
middle.
3x3.
He's sandwiched in there, and he goes like, Jack is telling him like, get out of there, and he goes like, but I can't, like I'm sandwiched in between them. And he goes like, well, figure it out. And so he slams on his brakes,
and then he
takes
the outside.
and then they slam into each other. the gold Lamborghini kid and the German guy, they
Yeah.
slam into each other, and like the German guy gets into they both get into horrible accidents. Like the guy in the gold Lamborghini just like tumbles around. The other guy, his car catches on fire up against the barricade, and so like ultimately like they're both fine, and so like he actually takes podium.
Yeah.
So and like that's basically the end of the movie, and then like we see the comparison between the actual people and the actors that they're playing as. And so I'm like, I really like when they do that.
Yeah.
In every single
If
based
they
on
do
true
it,
story
yeah.
thing, or like a biopic and stuff.
Yeah.
So like that I really like all the time. Is like, man, it's actually really fascinating that, you know, like sometimes it's like these guys are very similar, or it's all like, oh, like this is what the actual person looked like, and that sort of thing. But yeah, and then like we end with him being his own stunt double.
Yep.
For the movie,
which is a really cool detail. So
yeah. So and then that is the end of Gran Turismo
for the most part.
For the most part, for what we wanted to actually talk about. Now let's get into our thing of what we think about the movie.
Yes, our ratings.
Yes, ratings.
That's buy or skip.
Yes.
Hence why this is called RBS Cinema.
Yes. So, I'll go first.
Yeah, sure.
So I actually think this is a buy.
Fuck yeah! It's a buy.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. It actually like subverted my expectations of what I thought the movie was going to be about.
You really didn't think very much of it.
Yeah.
At first glance.
I was just like, okay, like it's based off of a video game movie and it's a car movie. It shouldn't be that great. No, it blew me away. Like there were times to when I was just like, oh shit, like the whole thing of him like lifting off, and I'm just like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This isn't good. And then like when he won his races, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like I actually got really excited about those moments too. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, like let's go. And like especially where again, like the whole thing of having the aspect of real world applications of how I feel about it, of being like people calling you out, of going like, oh, like, you know, this is going to be your dream, like it's never going to work out, like you need to focus on the real world aspects and blah blah blah. And so like that to me hit pretty close to home, kind of like with most people that are into video games or their hobbies or whatever it is, and thinking that nothing's going to come out of it. And like especially with, you know, Yana, where he thinks that like, you know, this will eventually get me somewhere. I enjoy playing racing video games, mostly Gran Turismo, but like this is what I enjoy doing. Mm-hmm. And his dad just going like, well, you've got your head in the clouds. You need to think about the real world. Like you need to be making more money, or you need to be going back to school.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And he goes like, I don't want to do any of that. I want to race cars. And he actually has this opportunity to do it, and it actually works out to his benefit.
And he proved his dad wrong. And like one moment,
and now he's won several races after that one race.
And it wasn't. We missed out about the moment of like his dad shows up to Le Mans.
Yeah, for Le Mans to see him actually race, and
he talks to him, and it's like, I don't understand this video game shit, Jan, but like I'm so proud of you, and Jan's like, I did this for you.
And shows the
sticker
flying
of
swan
of
the logo
of the logo for the Cardiff soccer team. It's like, I did this for you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
and that man,
I was all like, damn. I almost cried.
I feel
I'm almost tearing up of reliving this aspect, and I'm like, fuck. Like, God damn it.
Like if people. You should be telling your if you love your parents, you should be telling them that you're proud of them.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
because it's one
kind of. I feel like it's. I think it kind of just varies.
But like I don't know. But for me, I know definitely that. Like it's one thing to say that you're proud of like a kid, but like for a parent to go around and say like you're proud of them if you really mean it, then that means a whole lot to somebody, is to say that you're proud of them. So but like that was a really cool scene. But like I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I really wanted to get that scene out of the way. But like the aspects of like in intertwining Yan's family, and then you know the actual racing and stuff like that. It was a good story.
Right. But yeah, like I really liked this being a movie based about a video game, but it's more specifically based on a true story.
Based on real life.
And so like some people could argue like, oh, like it's more of a video game movie, but it has the real world applications of being based off of a true story. And I'm like, yeah, like that definitely is what I believe.
Yeah.
Because like they both go hand in hand. If it wasn't for the video game,
this wouldn't have happened. That's the argument that I would make.
So,
like this story would have not happened. We wouldn't have been able to see Jan Mardenborough to be able to do anything.
Right.
If it weren't for the development of the very first Gran Turismo game by PlayStation. So.
Yeah. So, and for all those reasons, for like being based off a true story, making your dreams come true, like also the overall arching thing of the acting and stuff like that, and everything, like it's a buy, honestly, for me. So, but what do you think, Jack?
I'm also gonna say it's a buy. Fuck yeah! As I've been on the fence a little bit. There's like, oh, maybe it's a rent, because I never really.
Yeah, that's how I was too.
On streaming services, because this is my second time watching it, because I watched the first time on a whim, because it's got the guy from Stranger Things in it. Like this seems.
It's got
like
Elena Bloom. Like
I kind of enjoyed watching, like racing movies can sometimes be good. So let's take a watch of this. Like
right.
I thought it again also exceeded my expectations.
Yeah,
and. It is an interesting video game movie because because Gran Turismo doesn't have a story. So
no, it doesn't. It's just racing cars. That's all it is.
They didn't have much to pull from when they wanted. Okay, if we had to make a video game movie, what would we do about Gran Turismo? It's okay, but like what we do about Gran Turismo? Well, we don't do anything about the actual game.
Right.
We're gonna talk about the GT Academy.
Yeah,
and we're talking about Jan Mardenborough and this inspiring story, and then we'll take that, we'll run with it. But not only are we going to do that, but for those people who are fans of PlayStation, because we're doing this for our more likely people who are really tuned into what PlayStation is doing, we're going to put a bunch of sound effects. We're going to put a bunch of visuals in there that are going to click with people who actually do play video games.
Yeah,
and so we're going to cater to that people, but we're also going to make it like this really heartfelt story, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I think they did a really good job of that. The execution was good. It's a very good example of what to do for a video game adaptation that doesn't really have too much to go on. So
yeah.
They did PlayStation Studios really did a great job on this one.
Yeah, they really knocked it out of the park.
So, yeah, I will also give it a buy. I think it was good.
Good. Yeah. So now let's get on with suggestive people.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, like, I was looking through them and I was like, okay, like, whatever. It's run of the mill, like, oh, whatever. But, where was it? Ah, okay, there it is. But I did see this one and I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to talk about this review specifically. So for those of you that aren't familiar with this thing that we do, so what we'll do is that we'll take a 1-10, if not both star review on IMDb, and then we'll have an open up discussion about somebody's review on the movie. So because that we both say that's a buy, so we're going to do a 1 star, which we've been having a lot of buys recently too. So
yeah.
It's crazy. So this person said, it's the worst movie I've seen in years. The title, basically, it's the most cliche-filled pile of cinematic garbage that I've ever seen. Looking at the reviews on here, Sony must have shared thousands of premiere tickets with people to make them write something positive about the movie. The production quality is stellar, but that's all. It's too long and has no character development. It's illogical all the time. The passing in the races is ludicrous, as if the opponents drive Daihatsu cores.
Daihatsu.
Yeah. I don't know. While the protagonist miraculously finds the gas pedal and pulls away, I can't believe Polyphony and Sony made this, to be honest. They make quality most of the time. I'm baffled and want 140 minutes of my life back.
This guy must be a racing expert.
Right. And this doesn't make any sense. And it's like, yeah, sure, like some of the stuff is cliche in the aspect of going like, oh, like you got the underdog hero and blah blah blah. No, this is what actually happened.
Yeah.
That's the thing that he's not realized. It's not just a movie. It's taking real world aspects and making it into a movie.
Does this guy think that this is from a video game?
Right. And so it's like, sure, like you could say that like, oh yeah, like it's cliche in the aspect of being like, oh yeah, like there's no character development, or it's like the thing of being like, the main character just miraculously finds the gas pedal and just goes faster. And it's like
have you ever,
no.
are you a professional race car driver? Do you know how this stuff works?
This isn't like Fast and Furious.
Right.
So like you can't just argue that like, oh yeah, he miraculously goes faster than the rest of the drivers. No, that's not what the hell happens. Because like when you are racing in a car like this, you have to be strategic.
Yeah,
like
because
it's especially like in the real like gaming thing of Gran Turismo, you have to strategize how you're going to win the race. Like, and it's not like an AI algorithm that like ones and zeros go into the right place and then like you have to fight against the computer or race against other people online. And like you have that aspect, and then they're bringing it into the real world application of him thinking logically about how he's going to pivot around these other racers and try to win the podium.
For sure.
So
like, I don't know what this guy was expecting.
Yeah, and it's all like the fact that he gave it 1 star for those reasons, and like especially the whole thing of going like, oh, there's no character development. Yes, there is.
Wait,
like
did we watch the same
throughout
film?
the whole thing. There's character development, like him starting out with being in the competition and then going into the academy and then winning the academy and then going off onto the actual racetrack, and then him thinking that he's going to get 4th place in his first race ever, competing with other real life drivers.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, nope, getting bumped and then going to last place. And then going up and ranking throughout the course of the races and stuff. And then especially when he gets into that accident. Oh, you mean to tell me that there's no character development there? Like, are you fucking kidding me with this?
What are we talking about here?
Like, there's no character development of him getting into this accident and him having that struggle between not racing and actually continuing off onto his path. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, what are you talking about? No character development. That's character development right there.
That's
like him having that struggle of him, oh, I don't know if I can continue going on with this. No, like getting that extra push to be like, no, you should actually continue. Oh, okay,
right?
You know
it's
what? Like I should. So like that is just like not a good take.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, not at all. So, but we'll go ahead and end it here. So with that being said, thank you everybody so much for watching, listening, tuning in, however you guys are doing it.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying each week, really appreciate you guys sticking around with us. And with that also being said, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a like, comment section below, and share this around with anybody that likes this movie, likes racing movies, likes a couple of guys shooting the shit, talking about movies in general.
And stick around for the remainder of this month, because we're going to be talking about all about video game movies in the month of September. So
it's going to be a great time.
Gamers.
Yeah.
We love gamers here on this podcast.
If you love video games, if you love movies, if you love video game movies, stick around for this whole month of September, because we're going to be talking about video game movies, like Jack said. And then in November, we got something coming up. And then, of course, in December, I think we'll just talk about, like, holiday movies, Christmas movies.
What about October?
And October, it's going to be the spooky month.
I'm about to say. It's like you went from September to November, dude.
Yeah. So, but yeah, October, we got something lined up for the 1-year anniversary of the podcast. So stick around for that as well when we get to that next month in October. And then you've also got your birthday at the end of September, so we got something planned for that as well.
I'm not looking forward to it.
But yeah, so tune in for the rest of the month. Leave a comment in the comment section below about a movie that you guys want us to talk about, or what your favorite video game movie is, or, you know, you could be like me, you really like Street Fighter, and even though it's not a great movie, you still really like it. So let us know if there's a shit video game movie that is your favorite. Assassin's Creed might be your favorite. Who knows? or
I
Borderlands.
feel sorry for you if your Assassin's Creed is your favorite movie.
True. Same. So with that being said, we will see you guys next week.
All right.
So bye.
Bye.